Welcome, welcome. You are tuned into the failing frequency. Is that good?
It's good. Halloween
Is
special.
that good? Yeah. What's up,
for
folks?
people watching this in a week's, in 4 weeks' time? It's Halloween right now, or will be.
Yes, that's fine. The internet is evergreen. Welcome, folks. You are tuned into the failing frequency. I am Ethan.
And I'm Mike.
Wherever you are. And we're here to talk all things Trek on this failing frequency Halloween Spooktacular.
Spooky.
We'll be going through some of the. Sorry, I've had a couple already out of this Mugatu horn.
Very nice.
Yes. We'll be going through the week's latest Trek news. Then me and Mike are going to be giving you some recommendations of Trek episodes this spooky Halloween season before we discuss the latest episodes of Star Trek, including the brand new episode of Star Trek Prodigy, Season 1, Part 3, Episode 1. And another episode of Star Trek Lower Decks.
The finale of Lower Decks.
The what?
It had to happen at some point. You've
I
been
am not
predicting it.
I am not
4 weeks in a
emotionally.
row.
I am not emotionally prepared.
Yeah.
Didn't
It's been 4 weeks of you saying it's the finale or something like that.
I didn't see it coming. Yeah,
It just had to happen at some point.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been threatening you with it for about a month now.
Yep. And there's time codes in the description below.
But before we get into all of that, Mike, why can't I see you?
Because I want to see if you'll
Very
get
spooky.
my...
It's dark.
I'm spooky. I want to see if my Halloween costume idea will make you laugh. How low rent it is and how poor it has happened. So
before my costume becomes too overwhelming, do you like what I've put together?
It's very good. That is a
Worried
great
that
baldric.
Thank you. It's actually like for one of those like tie around your waist belly dancing.
Yeah. Feels very TOS.
I'm trying
being
to
a TOS Klingon, it feels very TOS sounding
I'm trying
as well.
I've got to like have it cover up because underneath it just there is Michael Jordan.
I mean, the Klingons love a bit of, hoops.
Yeah, they love
a bit of basketball.
They love Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the forehead ridges of a warrior.
Yeah. You haven't seen basketball played in until it's been played in its original form.
But okay, come on, what's going on?
Okay, let's turn over. And the beauty is, so who am I? There we go. For those who are only listening and can't hear,
right, you're the race metaphor from Let That Be Your Last Battlefield, right?
yes, I'm Beale, the half black and half white guy, and suddenly I'm Lokai, the half white and half black guy. It's amazing what you can do on the fly, isn't it? I'm running away. I'm trying not to get caught. I'm running after him. I'm trying to catch him. The paint went so much better in my head. And then I put it on and was like, no, this doesn't look good at all. Works so well. It works so well.
Oh man, my fucking eyeliner's gonna run.
Same.
Oh my
My
God.
paint's gonna run down me as I'm talking. I'm Beale. I'm Lokai. I'm okay.
See, I was worried that doing the blackface for my Klingon costume would have been going too far, but now I see it might not have been far enough.
I'm not doing blackface. I want to make 100% sure here.
No,
Make sure
you're doing not blackface.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm specifically doing 100% grey face if you average it out.
Yeah, if you move your face really fast like that.
If I keep on doing, this,
Yeah.
I'm crying already.
Oh my god.
My paint's running.
Oh my god. Right. Okay, let's get to the fucking news. In an ongoing story that is haunting this podcast, like an unwelcome ghost. The Star Trek movie rights have reverted to yet another set of hands, as most of the Star Trek movies that aren't available anywhere else anymore will soon be moving to HBO Max.
Yep. So if you've got HBO Max in the States, which I suppose more people, the people actually watching this, more chance have you got HBO Max. It's still a pain in the ass. If you want to watch all of Trek, you've got to go to 3 or 4 places.
Yeah. Also, HBO Max, it's got a lot more better stuff, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's got like Game of Thrones and The Wire and Boardwalk Empire, Sopranos, Peacemaker, Band of Brothers, Spawn.
Yeah.
The list goes on.
The list is endless.
Yeah. Do you think that this is maybe gonna make a lot of people just go, oh, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna pirate Star Trek. I'm just gonna go with HBO. Well,
it's better than the news story last week or the week before where they just disappeared to nowhere.
They obviously. Do you think that they knew that it was going to HBO Max?
Yeah.
And they just didn't say.
Yeah. But
well,
I think more people are likely to have the movies on disc if they've got hard copy of the format, or download the movies rather than download every series. So I think for the people who are going to subscribe for Trek, they probably haven't lost out that much. Because, if you go, oh, well, I can't get my fix of Wrath of Khan, but then you've got 500, 600 hours of Trek, you're probably going to stay still.
Nah, maybe.
Yeah.
Depends how just how short people's patience with how shoddy the app is.
Yeah, true.
In good news, happy news, Star Trek Strange New Worlds wins the Saturn Award for Best Streaming Sci-Fi Series, beating out Star Trek Discovery and The fucking Expanse. Ha ha! Suck it!
It was the last season of The Expanse, to be fair, which I don't think was as good as a couple of the other seasons prior. Also,
take that, Prestige TV.
Yeah. Did you see the categories?
Compelling storytelling and intrigue.
Yeah. Take that for all mankind.
Yeah. I still need to watch that. It's gonna that looks so good.
So, do you think this is a worthy win?
I feel like I mean, I'll take it. I don't necessarily know if we deserve it. I don't know.
All the effort we put in.
I know, right? We do complain about awards a lot while also commenting about how we don't get them. It's kind of like we're negging awards, which might be why we've won it. They've won it.
Yeah. I mean, the categories that Trek lost in. So let's see if you think this was for losses. Best animated TV. Lower Decks was up, lost out to Bad Batch.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
I wasn't a fan of Bad Batch at all.
I liked Bad Batch. It had a grey. It had greys in a tank.
Best actor. So Anson Mount from Strange New Worlds lost out to Oscar Isaac, Moon Knight.
No. Who else lost in that category?
Tom Hiddleston from Loki. Mackie from Winter Soldier. Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan. Adam Scott, Severance. And I think Adam Scott is, fantastic in that. And
I haven't
Anthony
seen
Starr,
Severance.
The Boys.
I haven't seen Severance.
Watch Severance. Get on Severance. Get Apple TV and watch Severance.
Anthony Starr or
The Boys, Homelander. Yeah.
Homelander or Tom Hiddleston, Loki. Like Loki, he shows some fucking range in Loki.
Yeah. I think the trouble is that's a bit long ago, so people have forgotten what actually happened in the series. But I think that's a fair loss, award. Even if Oscar Isaac didn't win, very hard category. Best Actress, didn't put anyone forward for Best Actress. Star Trek, who knows why. Best Supporting Actor, Ethan Peck, New Spock, lost out to Elliot Page.
It's a shame.
Probably fair enough.
I hate it when an Ethan loses to an Elliot.
Yeah.
But in this instance, I'll let it slide. It's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Best Supporting Actress, Jess Bush. So Chapel was lost out against Moses Ingram from Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah, that, and I like to see that, considering all the hate she got at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always good for that. So those are the awards lost out for, and I think most of those are pretty fair.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that I think that, like I say, I'll take it, but should we have? Should we? I mean, in many ways, like Lost in Space is also quite good.
Again, the last season's not great though.
No, it's not. It's like, where do we go from here without going somewhere ridiculous? It's like, go ridiculous. I wanted to, before we go on to the next piece, I just wanted to, have you seen the website for the Saturn Awards?
I haven't.
I'm going to send you the link.
Okay.
This is the website. Maybe you want to show it on stage on screen.
On stage.
This is the active website for the Saturn Awards in the year 2022.
Oh, fucking hell! That is an old-looking website,
right? Well, that made me laugh. Weird.
Yeah,
that's fun.
That's like the Space Jam website or some like that.
That's what I was thinking. In other good news, Star Trek Strange New Worlds was also presented with the seal of authentic representation from the Ruderman Families Foundation, who recognize film and TV series that include authentic representation of people with disabilities.
For killing its disabled crew member.
Yeah, yeah. The seal of authentic representation has been presented to Strange New Worlds for their inclusion and casting of Bruce Horrock as Star Trek's first legally blind main cast character and actor, Enterprise's chief engineer, Lieutenant Hammer. Cool.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, man. They get a nerd award. They got a gay award. They've got an award for people with disabilities. Star Trek truly is Antifa. The Nazis would hate this shit. In spooky news, Super 7 will be releasing new Star Trek action figures. These look pretty sweet.
Have they said what figures they are? I haven't seen this one at all.
So I'll send you the link. So we've got Guinan, we've got Data, we've got Riker, and we've got Locutus.
Okay. I'm just looking at the accessories you get with Data and Riker
Yeah, you get the little violin, and you get Data with his little, and you get fucking Riker's got a changeable head with a shit-eating grin.
Yeah, and his
And a
little Picard Day
Yeah.
doll and trumpet.
I love it. It's we've got like
A
Commander
trumpet,
Riker, smug douche Riker.
Yeah. And Spot for Data. That's great, that.
Last little bit of news.
Mm-hmm.
Issue number 1 of the new Star Trek comic book series is out, and they've released a little preview of it, and it's Sisko coming out of the wormhole, and it is beautiful.
Stark bollock naked.
He is stark bollock naked, coming out, starfished out of the fucking wormhole in his birthday suit. Wonderful. Just.
So I read this today. It came out yesterday. Read it today.
So let's just don't worry about spoilers. Just what's the dealio? What's happening?
It's issue 1. It's a setup. It's not. If I'm spoiling anything for you in this, then I'm desperately sorry. But skip forward a minute or two. So it's set just after Voyager Endgame, but before Star Trek Nemesis. Sisko gets gets put out of the Celestial Temple by the Prophets, sent on a mission, and all he can remember is this place to go. So he goes to Picard and says, because the rest of the Federation thinks, oh, we don't know what to do with you because you've just been hanging around with an alien race that, you say is benevolent but could fuck us up at any time.
Right.
So he goes to Picard and says, you had to kind of deal with this after becoming a Borg and then coming back to being human again. So help me out, give me a ship, and I need to go do this mission, whatever it is. Picard gives him this fucking rickety old ship, the USS Thesis, sorry. Ship of Theses, isn't it?
Yes, it's the ship of feces. How much shit can you take off a ship and replace before it's a completely new ship?
Yeah. So it's this desperately old ship, and he also gets him a crew that consists of Scotty.
Nice.
That consists of
Bev
Crusher.
I didn't get my shit in the right position before we started.
No worries.
So
he's got a crew of Scotty. He's got a crew of Bev, Data, Lieutenant Paris, who's just very recently... All nerds. He's got Ensign Sato from Enterprise, and descendant of them mixed with like Andorian, half Andorian, and some just random Vulcan. And he takes Jake in tow. Goes to this random nebula that the prophets have told him to go to, and just sees 100 crystalline entities because, it's fucking nerd fanfiction stuff.
Yeah.
He gets there and he sees a ship shatter them, and he's like, oh my god, the crystalline entities were like gods, like the prophets and like Apollo from TOS, and now they're all dead. This is why the prophets have sent me out here.
Oh no, it's Gore the God Butcher from Thor Love and Thunder.
Pretty much. Something's out there killing gods.
Yeah, it's gross, slimy Christian Bale.
Yeah. So I'll keep reading it, and there's a accompanying comic we talked about a while ago that's coming out as well.
Where like Picard gives war for ships. So is he just handing people out like fucking naff ships from round the back?
Yeah. Here's a ship, there's a ship.
Everyone we got some fucking shit round the back.
Yeah. We've got more 100-year-old ships that have been
Theseus.
Yeah. Which
next
named because it's supposed to be modular and you'll be able to like constantly upgradable. But
yeah. Meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah.
Still beautiful imagery, eh?
Yeah. There's like one alternate cover that's like a sovereign flying on a red background that I'll pop up here.
Yeah, that
looks very nice. I'd have that as like a phone background if I could get a decent copy of the image.
Yeah, I want to get like a big HD real like as good and clear an image as I can get
Cisco's junk.
of Cisco coming out of the wormhole.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to like lay over like the Da Vinci, thing of man.
Yeah. That already looks like he's quantum leaping with the blue background behind him.
Oh no! Oh no! What if it's not Cisco? What if it's actually Scott Bakula?
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
So, but that's all we're gonna go with this week for the news. We're gonna keep it light with the news. How do you feel?
Yep.
Do you feel informed?
I feel informed. I feel happy we've got it done in less than half an hour.
Mate, we're pros at this. We know what we're doing.
Yep. So that was the news. Let's talk about
the news.
spooky.
Yeah, man. But to keep everyone in the mood for this spooky season, me and Mike thought we'd give some recommendations of some good Star Trek episodes that fit with the season. So, but like before we get into like proper recommendations, I think we need to first talk about the only episode that is 100% for sure a Halloween special.
Yeah.
And that is Cat's Paw.
TOS Cat's Paw. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's TOS episode. It's rubbish.
Yeah.
It's high camp. It's silly. It's very charming. You got to admit, it's very charming. Like when you watch it, there's some moments where you can't help but smile. The high camp of it all, the the dude with the mustache, the kind of like
just all the pictures of Spock stroking a cat, which I'm pretty sure is the only reason Data had a cat at all. Was they were like, that worked in TOS, people like that, so let's give Data a cat.
Yeah, that's a meme. It's a meme. One thing I like about Cat's Paw is its mention of the old ones, the creatures that we see at the end when they turn into their real form.
Yeah.
So that is a direct reference to the work of H.P. Lovecraft. In fact, I did have the page up. But yeah, the person who wrote Cat's Paw, they wrote that in as like a reference, and that's why like the old ones, the little guys, they've got like tentacle faces.
Yeah, as
so like
every Lovecraftian unimaginable horror normally does.
Yeah, a lot of the scariest things that H.P. Lovecraft could imagine was something black or something sloshing.
Yeah. And if it was black and sloshing, even more horrible.
Absolutely. So yeah, imagine those little tiny things, but like the size of a mountain, and that's basically Cthulhu.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that mentioned, and I mentioned that now because H.P. Lovecraft's going to come back in another one of my recommendations.
Yeah. So have you tried to pick the typical Halloween episodes that people go for, or just general spookiness?
So I've gone for different things. I've gone for things that like scare me. So like I've got like and not just things that scare me, but like some of the kind of horror that I like.
Yeah.
So like we've got cosmic horror. I've got like psychological thriller.
Okay.
The concept of the mind prison.
Yep.
And then just spooky vibes. There are a couple of categories that I couldn't quite refine enough as well. So, horrific ordeals. But I thought that as a category would just be a bit too rapey.
Yeah.
And I thought we're keeping it light. We're keeping it light. Which is why I also didn't further develop a category of societal collapse.
Yeah.
Because that's the real scary shit.
If I want to see that, I'll look out a fucking window.
Right, man. Totally, man. You fucking
Boom.
said it, man. Fuck yeah, dude.
Since you got the categories, then why don't you go first, and I'll see if I've got one that fits in your category.
Okay, so we'll start off with body horror. And when I'm talking body horror, I don't mean torture porn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean like goofy, reanimator, fucking scanners, The Thing, John Carpenter, David Cronenberg, sloshing, more sloshing. And most of these are not actually episodes so much as they are like moments from episodes. So the runners up on these would be things like In Theory, the episode. I can't remember what's happening, but it's the one. It's got the picture of the crewman sticking out from the floor. So like, that's horrible. Also things like Wrath of Khan when the slug in the ear, but also like that moment where Chekhov's captain gets vaporized and he's screaming as he does it, and as his entire essence just phases away, his scream carries off on the wind and just fades off, and like his scream is still going after his body is completely just like fallen apart.
Well, they're in a cave. It echoes.
It's haunting.
Yeah.
The motion picture with the
What's his
the
name?
Vulcan,
like Selak or
and he gets beamed up and he's like killed and he dies like immediately. But like
they didn't last long. The thing we got back didn't last long.
It didn't last long, thankfully. But like it didn't die immediately.
Yeah.
Though, so like he still had a few, probably a couple of minutes of experiencing all of that. Pretty horrible to think about.
Yeah.
The Empath, great TOS episode where like Bones gets tortured.
Oh, no,
it's really cool. It's really like it's a fun episode to watch in black and white.
Yeah.
It's and like it's got like McCoy strung up and like he has his mind ripped apart and his organs literally pulled out and then put back into his body. But it happens off screen, so you don't see it. So that doesn't count. So we're not going to give that one the win. The win, it was a close tie between Context is for Kings. Mm-hmm. Just that moment where you find the crew of the Glen.
Just smeared bodies everywhere.
Smushed.
Yeah.
Smushed. Put the picture up on the screen now.
Oh, I'll get it, yeah.
And now imagine that's a member of your family.
Which member? I've got
a delicious.
Yeah.
But it's got to go to Conspiracy, which is a good way of just getting that episode on this list because it's one of my favorite episodes, and it's got loads of gross shit in it.
Yeah.
It's got eating bugs. It's got a mind slug, but it's also got that fucking epic moment where and then he just gets his fucking shit blown apart. Fucking sweet, man.
I love how like Riker and Picard like both try and phaser him, then look at each other and then just like put their phasers on max.
And then they cross the streams.
Yeah.
But it's a great episode. The episode generally does have like a super spooky vibe anyway.
Yeah.
It's all, there's like clandestine meetings. People are talking about, people are changing. It's got kind of like a Invasion of the Body Snatchers vibe. The one with Donald Sutherland.
It's
got some of that kind of.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Dustin Hoffman.
Donald Sutherland.
But like, it's got vibes of that to it. It's a good spooky episode for a spooky season. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. It's one I had up there because like the memory of that guy's head popping is set in my mind forever. Like seeing it like at 4 years old or something like that, maybe. Fantastic. Get your kids into head popping early.
Absolutely.
That's definitely set in my head. The one that I have that most fits this category, then, let's say, is Voyager Faces. Do you remember Voyager Faces?
Would you remind me?
It's the Vidians, the guys who suffer from the phage and just have like the stripped off whatever.
Yeah.
And they split B'Elanna into human B'Elanna and Klingon B'Elanna. Yes,
classic.
And then there's this creepy dude who's just like, who's obviously melting away in part and is trying to hide in the dark. 'Cause he's like, human B'Elanna, I quite like you. Will you go out with me? And she's like, you're a hideous mess of a man.
No offense, mate.
Yeah, you abducted me and you're hideous. And he goes like, okay. And then he takes away like one of her engineer people and comes back wearing his face and goes like, I'm much prettier now. Will you go out with me? And you just see like this face like stapled onto him.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. That's what I've got in mind for like body horror-y stuff.
That's a good one. A good one. I suppose then we'll go those two pair well. We'll go thriller.
Okay, thriller.
So when I talk about like psychological thriller, I was thinking more along the lines of like, I like a story about like someone going mad, and about like the tenuousness of like of human sanity, and like I like a story about someone who's pushed to the edge and loses and goes past that breaking point. So like there's a good couple episodes of Voyager. There's Meld and Random Thoughts, both Tuvok episodes. Both deal with Tuvok wrestling with deep inner rage and not just like horrific, like the propensity to commit horrific acts, but the propensity to enjoy doing it.
Yeah, I'm guessing Meld is the one where he's suffering from melding with Sutner, isn't it? The psychopath. Suda. Yeah. That one I quite liked. Yeah.
And Random Thoughts is the one where he's selling violent thoughts to empaths, and it's the one that has a clip of Event Horizon.
Is it?
In some of the imagery that he's giving the guy, he just feeds him Event Horizon.
He's watched that on DVD some point recently.
Yeah, he's like, that'll work. Yeah.
Yeah. I only watched Event Horizon the other week. If you're not going to watch Trek over this Halloween, watch Event Horizon. It's great.
Hell yeah. Fucking love Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. But the winner for this category's got to go Empok Nor.
I had Empok Nor.
Empok Nor, it's real spooky. It goes kind of slashery at some point. It goes a bit like... It's a bit Friday 13th-y, and it has Garrick go full on over the edge and straight up murder people.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
I had this when I had only one episode to talk about today. It was going to be Empok Nor, and then the guys from Too Young for This Trek did it, and I was like, fuck, these guys have done well at talking about it. Now I have to come up with another episode. Cause like,
oh no, you just have to come up with better jokes.
No, like Eric, I think it was Eric in Too Young for This Trek.
Shout out to Too Young for This Trek. Great podcast.
Yeah. Was pointing out that, you only see like the Cardassian like half dead people, the zombies or whatever, the killers in shadow until like Garrick turns into one of them, and he's one of the other Cardassians is hunting down Garrick, and then suddenly Garrick's in shadow and be like,
yeah, it's fucking awesome.
It's great.
It's like Dracula.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah,
fantastic episode.
Yeah, it's great, and it's a good episode because we get a really great window into a fantastic character.
Yeah. Especially, I can't remember if it's that episode or not where he's like, oh, people are treating me like very nice. And it's
Yeah,
like
man.
just before he goes like, everyone's very friendly to me now. They know like I'm against the Dominion and that is great for me
Yeah.
on here. And
And
then he
I
just goes
hate it.
mad.
I
Yeah.
fucking hate it. Everyone loves me, and I want to kill them all.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. That's why I had this even as a category, because like, have you ever been? Have
Ready
you
to
ever
kill
been to the?
people?
Have you ever been to the post office?
Yeah.
Have you ever? Have you ever like had really vivid imagery in your mind of just bashing the person in front of you's fucking brains against the counter? Just poof, poof.
Yeah.
Like really visceral, clear, violent imagery.
Just the
man,
one of like, I wonder if I stab this person. I wonder if it would like. It's probably like not like stabbing chicken because that's just like 100% meat. Where
I wonder
it's
if I
probably,
stab
like,
this.
tofu.
If I stab this person, will the woman behind the counter understand and serve me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or could I get served before the police arrived?
Do I? But the real scary question is: do I have this in me?
Yeah.
And that's it. You know, that's why that's a category because like do we have it in you and is that monster something that you want to let out? Do you want to know about the monster inside?
Yeah. So, was this category psychological horror?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. Because, like, beyond Empok Nora, I've got one.
Okay.
TNG Remember Me, which is Beverly Crusher is on the Enterprise and people are disappearing. And she keeps on saying, oh, where's Nurse Ogawa? And they're saying, like, Nurse who? Are you fucking off your tits? Like, no, she's been here for 5 seasons so far. She goes, no, never heard her. And
She's
then eventually
played by
it's just,
such and such.
yeah. And then eventually it's just like her and Picard. And she's like, where is
Picard,
everyone?
it's
no,
just
like
us.
it's just
Just
me and you
us.
on the ship. We
It's
run
just
it all
us.
by ourselves.
It's super awkward.
Yeah. We try not to fuck each other, but there's only 2 of us here. And that whole thing of like, if the universe isn't wrong, or if I'm not crazy, maybe the universe is wrong, which is like such an amazingly dumb line.
It's a
like,
great meme. It's a great meme. I've used it before.
Yeah,
Like
it's good, like
it's
horror as well of being like, no, everyone thinks I am absolutely mad, but I know I'm like right, and we only know she's right because like we've seen all the rest of TNG. If we didn't know Nurse Ogawa before she disappeared and like Bev's asking after her, we'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about, Bev?
Yeah. That leads into an episode that I didn't include on this, and into the next category, Whispers, the DS9. I think it's called Whispers, the DS9 episode where O'Brien is a clone.
Yeah,
and everyone else knows he's a clone except him, and he's all paranoid and shit.
Yeah.
Great episode. But
amazing O'Brien Must Suffer episode.
Oh, wonderful. But that episode, I do believe, was Beverly Crusher stuck in a mind prison of sorts.
Yeah.
She was in like a mind
It was in
palace.
some
She was
sort of
stuck in her head.
collapsing universe, micro universe or some shit like that.
It was something. She might have been in a mind prison. It's a bag of shit.
Might as well be. It doesn't matter. If it was a collapsing mini universe or a mind prison, it's all the same.
Yeah. So I did have Frame of Mind on this list, but then I remembered that I'm pretty sure Frame of Mind is a simulation. Is it a mind prison? It's the one where Riker is in an asylum.
Yeah. I can't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, neither can I.
I always get it mixed up with the one where he wakes up, and it's like 40 years in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a few situations like that, and there was another one. Yeah. Anyway, move past it, because then we've got Hard Time, another great O'Brien Must Suffer episode.
Yeah.
Fucking
society and imprison people for...
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Many years in a second.
Yes. It's a crazy concept, you know. It's quite well done in that episode of Black Mirror, where Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter is made to live 1,000 years in a few seconds just for talking back at someone. Ugh, horrible.
And that Christmas special is a Christmas special I do watch where it reuses it again. And it's just like, that's one of the Christmas specials where you're like, oh no.
Oh,
especially
so
if you've worked in retail, or, you know, you've worked hospitality, and having a song play over and over again. You're like, yep, I've been through this.
I hate it.
This isn't some sort of dystopian nightmare. This is just my life.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the one that takes the cake has got to be the Thor Voyager episode, where B'Elanna and Kim get sent into a mind prison run by one of the voices of The Simpsons and a former member of Spinal Tap as a horrific dancing cunt.
Especially the end of it. So, like, he trades Kim and B'Elanna for Janeway, and they've pulled a ruse on him. It's all a ruse, and it's just a simulation of Janeway. And he needs brainwaves to survive, so his whole universe is collapsing around him. He's like, it's so quiet in here.
Yeah, man. It's like, it reminds me of that episode of The Twilight Zone where Burgess Meredith just wants to read his books, and then the bomb goes off, and then he's like, now I have all the time in the world to read my books, and then he sits down to read a book and his glasses break.
Yeah.
And but there was time now.
Yeah.
But there was time.
Can you imagine the horror that guy would have been in, though, like that program, if like B'Elanna had died at some point and he just had like Kim to amuse him, Kim's brainwaves?
Oh, he'd have had a great time tearing him apart for eternity.
Yeah, but Kim's not interesting on the outside. I doubt he's interesting on the inside. Kim probably like fantasizes about, you know, clarinets and plain pieces of paper.
Yeah, so it's just going to be like him manifesting a clarinet.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, Harry. And he goes, and then he goes, poof. And then he's like, oh.
Gone.
Forever.
Yeah.
It never gets old.
Never.
So then we've got cosmic horror. So there's a few runners up, because when we talk about cosmic horror, I've gone through a bunch of H.P. Lovecraft lately, mostly to determine how much of it was truly horrific and how much of it is just racist. And some of it is genuinely scary. So much of it is just racist.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, like, aside from the racism, a lot of it does convey that, like, in order to write good horror, one has to be truly afraid of everything outside of their door, which H.P. Lovecraft was.
Especially if they were a different colour than him.
Yeah, because, like, that's the thing. Cosmic horror is all about things you don't understand.
Yeah.
And the powerlessness that comes with being confronted with the truly ineffable.
Yeah.
So some of the episodes that kind of come close to this would be things like Masks was a close runner-up. We have these all-powerful beings that use the bodies of their subjects to enact their story as a kind of performance. But the problem with that, I found, and I ended up having quite a heated discussion with my partner about this, is that because of the whole sort of heroes cycle nature of the myth, in
Yeah.
Faces. And the whole good versus evil battle, it doesn't count as truly cosmic horror because cosmic horror is less about good triumphing over evil as it is about an uncaring, unfeeling universe just rolling over anything you've ever cared about.
Yeah.
And so because of that, we also had the 10C, the villains. Well, not the villains, but the problem from the last series of Discovery. Honestly, I was so happy when they found out that the fucking the what was the weapon again?
It was like an Omega. Well, it wasn't an Omega device.
It had an anagram. The BMF. The BMF or whatever it was called.
BFG 9000.
They
got the BFG 9000 from
Doom.
Doom.
When they found out that this thing that was rolling across the galaxy destroying planets was basically just like a cosmic fucking vacuum, just sucking up particles of something that they needed to do a basic action.
Yeah.
I fucking loved that.
Yeah. That and the character design of the 10C as well. It's like so on point.
Super massive, very Lovecraftian, like Cthulhu thing. But
if it was just like a human with like shit stuffed on their face, being like, nah.
Or a tiny little
no redemption
tiny
in this
little
season.
squid flower.
Yeah.
No. But the 10C doesn't count because they were inevitably benevolent.
Yeah.
Lame.
What would this one count in this category then, or because I've got it in like more of an action horror, like an Aliens.
Okay.
Voyager Macrocosm.
No, that would potentially, cosmic horror. Because it's obviously an alien tribute. An alien in many ways counts as cosmic horror.
Yeah, they're just like these random viruses that are meter by meter across, just flying through the decks trying to stab people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So weird.
Yeah, things like that. But the thing is, we ultimately come to understand and overcome. But then we've got things like Q Who, the first appearance of the Borg. Very spooky episode when we first encountered the Borg.
Yeah.
And as they're first presented in that episode, we don't understand them. We don't overcome them. We hightail it out of there. Very like Call of Cthulhu. They encounter this big structure. They don't understand what they've encountered. This thing seems to have motivation that we can't understand, and completely outclasses us, and it would completely overpower us.
Yeah.
And much like in the Call of Cthulhu, the answer is to just get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
So that definitely counts as cosmic horror. But the absolute taker of cakes. Oh, we've also got Where Silence Has Lease, where we meet Nigilum, which I think is a the black hole. That
and with a face.
The problem that we have with that episode is that he is a silly looking face. But I do love that episode. It's very spooky, very creepy.
It's very TOS, very early TNG sort of stuff. Where it is, it's like the cosmic hand reaching out for the Enterprise sort of stuff.
Yeah, and he's asking questions about death and shit.
Yeah,
he doesn't understand death. And also Nigilum kind of sounds like Cthulhu. It's got like similar rhythm to it. But the winner's got to be the Voyager episode Bliss, where where Voyager finds what they think is a wormhole, but it turns that's no wormhole. That's the gaping maw of a giant fucking space whale that's gonna fucking eat you.
Yeah.
And like, I love it.
It comes way too early in like Voyager's run though. It's like season 1, and no one's.
It's got 7 of 9, so it's like season 3 or 4 maybe.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and it's great. I love it.
It's still too early. Like it's halfway through a season. They're not gonna. Well, they could have, but they didn't. They're not gonna be like, season 4, episode 7, we get back to Earth. You're
It's
just like,
definitely too early in the season for the
Yeah,
episode. Absolutely, they should have saved it for maybe 3 away from the end. But it's a great episode because it's got that cosmic horror element of this giant super being that completely outclasses and outmatches us. It's basic one. It's not even so much that we don't understand it, but that its basic wants completely override anything you've ever cared about in your life, and just because of its ancient supermassiveness.
Yeah.
It attacks the mind. It drives you crazy. Part of the whole Cthulhu mythos is that Cthulhu reaches out, not just not only is he a giant super destructive being, but he can reach out with his mind.
Especially when they think they've escaped and they're like, we're out of here, and then they go, hold on, that was really easy. Do you want to check again? We're actually out of here. Man.
Yeah, walking hand in hand into destruction.
Yeah,
it's awesome. And of course, at the end, the old fucking space pirate that's been trying to take down his white whale. Of course, after escaping, he's
going straight back in there.
He goes back in for more. He just can't get away. He's been driven mad and obsessed.
Yeah.
At the vast destructiveness of the universe.
I guess the Doomsday Machines as well from TOS fall into this category where it's like this unimaginable, imaginable because we see them, but this horror of unknown whatever, and it just trolls around the galaxy doing something for who knows why. Is it a creature? Is it intelligent? It's expanded on in beta canon or whatever, but in TOS it's like, what the fuck's up with this?
Yeah, man, they're always showing up on Star Trek Online, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Fucking sent from outside the galaxy or some shit like that, aren't they?
And the crystalline entities, in a way, also fall into this category, but they're just not that scary. They're too shiny.
They're too clean. They're Christmas decorations, aren't they? You hang them on a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And especially when a comet can kill 100 of them at once. Like Star Trek #1 does.
But so Bliss definitely wins that category because it crosses all of the cosmic horror. It ticks all the cosmic horror boxes. It makes me think about the vastness of the universe and just how chaotic it is, and just how powerless we are. But also, it does that, But it also relates to a thing that the cosmic horror trope has, which is why I finally decided to tackle H.P. Lovecraft despite all of his racism, because I found out that they're both one of the things that he suffered with that fed into things like Cthulhu. It's a thing that I have, and this is my phobia. Everyone has a phobia. This is what I'm afraid of. So I have what many would call thalassophobia. Do you know what thalassophobia is?
Fear of deep water?
Yes, fear of deep, dark water.
Of the unknown of the depths below, let's say.
The unknown of the depths below, exactly. Yeah. Ooh, I have been in a lot of deep, dark water in my life, and I'll tell you right, those are some triumphant moments for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I only saw a video this week of someone getting ready to go scuba diving and hanging off the edge of a boat ready to dive off. And you see when they're at counting down from 5, at 2, a shark appearing below them, right below the person. Terrific.
Yeah, right.
You can't see through the ocean.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
So, that's thalassophobia. The thing that really gives me the fucking willies.
Yeah.
Megalohydrothalassophobia.
Big things under the ocean?
Supermassive sea creatures.
Yeah.
Squids. Squids. Yeah, squids are, yeah. It's less so much of that. It's so much is like the idea of like, oh, yeah, no, that. Ugh.
When you see like there's that famous picture, isn't it, with like a squid miles under the ocean, and it's just got these tentacles that are, or is it jellyfish that are just like super long down into extra depths, and you're like,
see, that might
as well be alien.
That image,
might as well be
that
alien.
image. That I think that's cool. I think that's cool. Yeah. That's fine. It's weird. It's weird how it works.
What's a jellyfish?
It's like megalodon. Fuck that.
No, I'd rather like see it. Like I'd rather be killed by a megalodon than like a jellyfish. A jellyfish? You know, come on, these guys are like. A megalodon has eyes. It has teeth. It has an arse. You know.
Yeah, I see. The thing is, if I was doing scuba. If I was underwater, the only reason I would be underwater would be some kind of scuba situation because I'm not a boat person.
Yeah. Well,
surely I would have a knife. Surely I would have a knife.
Yeah, but like
if a giant jellyfish got me, you just slash in all directions.
But it's fine. Jelly. Have you tried to cut like normal jelly?
Yeah, but
the knife,
when that jelly
it molds
is
around
your
the knife.
Body. Yeah, it's fine. I'll just fucking cut my way out. I'll cut my way out. It's fine. The idea of being like chomped by a megalodon. It's for me. I think it's the idea of being trapped in its domain.
Yeah.
Like I'm in its domain, and I am completely powerless.
A megalodon's probably going to be it by itself. There are schools of jellyfish. You could look up from scuba diving and see 100 jellyfish above you.
I'd be like, "That's cool. I'm about to die, but that's cool. No. At least I'm not being confronted with a giant super predator."
I'd be dead like that with Megalodon, and I'd be happy.
I mean, you die pretty quickly from a jellyfish sting.
Yeah, but I'd freak out a lot more.
I wouldn't freak out. I'd have a knife.
But yeah.
I get the knife out in front of a megalodon. It's not going to do shit.
It's not going to do shit with a school of 100 jellyfish either.
Yeah, I'd go down.
I don't have that enough piss within me to neutralize that sort of sting.
Yeah, jellyfish aren't scary. They're made of jelly.
When I constantly drink, I don't have enough.
Last category: spooky vibes. Just go for some spooky vibes. We've got night terror and schisms. Some of the two great fucking images. The scene where the various crew members are describing the table that they were on.
Yeah.
And they start describing the sound, and they all come to realize that they've all been abducted.
Just that Bev's dealing with all dead people, and then everyone wakes up behind her with like the white sheets over them
terrors.
Still. Yeah,
night terrors. Everyone starts hallucinating because everyone starts hallucinating because they're not sleeping right.
REM sleep or whatever. Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. Again, that fits into the psychological horror of people losing their mind.
Yeah.
So yeah. Any other thoughts on either of those episodes?
No, it's been a while since I've watched Schisms. I only remember like the abduction scene where like people come off like are floating above the bed and fly out.
It's
classic like
Fox
Mulder. Poltergeist. Yeah. That's the only real scene I remember from Schisms.
Like I say, the good scenes from those are the ones where people are kind of losing their mind a bit, and the scene in the holodeck when they all come to the realization that they're being abducted and probed.
Yeah, that's a good scene. That where they're like, and it was a table like this, and they go like, no, at an angle. Oh, but it had arm restraints on. Put arm restraints on this table, holodeck. Like, this is the fucking chair I was in. That's a good scene. So is that all your categories done for?
Yeah,
I've got one special category for myself.
Yeah. So what else? I'm just gonna close down this things. So yeah, what else? What other spooky episode recommendations do you have?
So I forgot to say for body horror, Voyager Threshold. when
Oh.
Tom Paris turns into a lizard and he's like, "Ugh, my tongue fell out," and he just like rips his tongue out. You know, it's an okay episode. It's not a good episode.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's one of the funnier episodes of Star Trek.
Yeah. And my final weird category is pregnancy. So, not the Troy one. DS9, do you know the darkness and the light? So it's pretty much I Know What You Did Last Summer, but it is on DS9. So Kira's mulling about DS9 and she starts hearing all her like resistance buddies keep dying one at a time.
Oh yes.
And she's like, what the fuck's happening here? And she's heavily pregnant with
heavily pregnant, yeah.
O'Brien's kid. And it turns out like this, she was part of a resistance cell because she's part of every fucking resistance cell. And it bombed a Cardassian base. And their just housekeeper, who's half melted down the side of him, is just picking them all off one by one. And he's like, no, I'm being, I'm not indiscriminately killing. I'm just killing the people who were against, who indiscriminately killed before. And then he abducts her or gets her there, straps her to a table, and he's just like, the darkness can't see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to free the child from its burden. And he's just like, and again, it's like this sort of half and half face where he's just melted on one half. And she's just pleading with him in the end, like, no, this kid can't be taken out of me now. Keep me here, leave it a month, extract the kid then, and then kill me. Just don't extract the kid now. That's horrific. Especially with
she's badass.
Yeah, and it is pretty much I Know What You Did Last Summer, where it's like
definitely
you did some shit wrong. And the other one is Enterprise, the episode Unexpected, where Trip gets pregnant, because that's
oh yeah, I see. Is this a deep-seated fear that you have of getting pregnant?
I think I watched what was the Arnie one? What was the Arnie film? I think I watched that once. Now
Arnold Schwarzenegger has a baby.
Yeah, I was just like, no. That's not going to fit out there.
See, I thought you were gonna pick that. I was holding off on picking a zombie genre.
Yeah, I know Enterprise's Impulse, which is the zombie one. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna pick that one at some point. No.
I'm much more horrified, at the case of, getting pregnant as a guy and just being like, I don't have the equipment for this. That's body horror. I'm gonna have to
push a baby out my dick.
Yeah.
Impulse is another good recommendation if zombies are more your flavor.
Yeah. That is, they're going into the Expanse and they're early into it, and it affects Vulcans. Or, no, the Trellium D that you need to shield your ship for, against the, corrosive nature of the Expanse. It makes Vulcans go mad. And
gives them like rage
zombies.
Virus.
Yeah.
So like 28 days later style zombies.
So they're fast on a Vulcan ship and just have like fucking loads of Vulcan zombies.
Slimy Vulcans.
Yeah.
But that's it, I suppose. Is that it?
Yeah, that's all I've got for horror episodes.
That's it.
See, after the success of Werewolf by Night, I was going to say Vampire by Night, Werewolf by Night, I'm hoping Strange New Worlds, because it feels like in their sort of category to do a black and white episode of horror.
Yeah, definitely. Mad Scientist style. Yeah, there's definitely something to be done there.
Yeah. So I'm hoping next season we get a because we got a horror episode from them that was pretty much Aliens this year.
Yes, we did. That was good.
Yeah. So I'm hoping we can get a proper old school horror sort of Frankenstein or that sort of stuff from them this year.
Absolutely. Right, should we go on to the latest episodes of Star Trek, the season finale of Lower Decks, and
The season finale it finally came for you. You've been thinking it was for weeks and weeks.
mate, I don't know what. Like that was just an acute case of brain fart.
Yeah,
Just recurring brain fart.
yeah.
Don't know
Now,
what happened there, mate.
I look forward to from next week forward. You thinking it's the finale of Star Trek Prodigy?
I'm gonna think it's the finale of Lower Decks still.
Yeah. Just next week.
This is
We're talking about Prodigy.
Really,
It's the finale of Lower Decks, is it not?
yeah, this is a really weird way to end the season of Lower Decks with setting it entirely on the Protostar.
Yeah. Very strange. Very strange. But what did you think of the episode, which presumably had a name? I haven't looked up the name yet. It's Looking at the Stars, something like that.
Yeah, I've got some stuff up here. The Stars at Night.
There we go. Stars at Night.
The Stars at Night. Yeah, I did get to reuse a note from last week.
Okay, this season has done this.
Yeah, it's somewhat underwhelming. Not as a finale. I mean the last moments. And I'll save it for spoilers, but there is something that I was hoping from this season that we just didn't get.
Did you watch the after credits? Are you talking about the after credits?
I did.
Okay.
I watched the after credits, still wasn't in that, but overall, relatively fun episode. There was some great use of shacks.
Yeah. Shaxx at his prime here, really.
Yeah, some if you live in California, you were gonna love it.
Yeah.
And there's some great some I know there's some stuff that you were gonna thoroughly enjoy about Mariner that we got. So yeah, it was good. I usually try to I judge an episode based on how well it achieves its balance of references, jokes, and story.
Yeah.
Pretty light on the jokes. But it wasn't attempting to make the jokes. Usually when it fails in the jokes, it's because the jokes aren't landing.
Yeah.
So this is a more serious episode. So
I think that's the case with the references as well, where the references, it's not a heavy reference episode. It is
it's mostly plot.
Yeah, it's plot. It's all good. There's a good bit of action in there. Had me fist bumping it, or figuratively fist bumping it, times where I was just like, yeah. So yeah, I thought it was a great episode and great finale. And I'm sure they put more animation budget, not only for the ship stuff, but the scenes with people as well. They seem much smoother during the finales.
Yeah, I feel like the back half of this season, I feel like weirdly enough, I feel like the animation got better as the season went on.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So this one has heavy outside of ship stuff in it, and all the animation for that is great. But all the stuff inside the ship as well, the animation's fantastic, and it's loved it. Do you want me to give my, I would say quick rundown, but the Lower Decks ones seem to keep expanding. Yeah. The Prodigy one is very short, don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. So after last week's episode, we've got Admiral Buenamigo pitching retiring all the California-class ships like the Cerritos in favour of his automated Texas-class ship. Freeman suggests that the Cerritos and the Altio do a second contact race across a couple of sectors, delivering supplies, building outposts to prove which one's better. The Cerritos loses the race, but the Altido didn't stick by the Prime Directive across the course. At the same time, Rutherford works out that it was Buenamigo that erased his memory, and the code for the Texas-class AI is based on his code, which was used in Badgie, or he used in Badgie. Buenamigo thinks he's doing a good of the many sort of thing by saving people who would have served on the Californian class and died. and sets the Altido, gives it autonomy and tells it to destroy the Cerritos, but it goes mad like all evil AIs does, blows him up, activates other Texas class, starts attacking the station, the Cerritos, and a Sovereign class. Mariner, who's been Indiana Jonesing around with Not Vash, sees the Cerritos under attack and goes off to race to help. Cerritos gets the Texas classes to follow it into warp. Freeman asks for suggestions from the crew. Boimler, who's been trying to apologise to Shax for him overhearing him doing a dodgy impression of Shax, tells everyone to shut up, listen to Shax, who suggests dropping the warp core behind them as a mine. That works, but it takes out 2 of 3 Texas classes. The Altido is still there. Mariner arrives with backup, which is all the California classes in their fleet, which overwhelm the Alito and destroy it. Mariner comes back to the Cerritos. Everyone apologises. She's had a taste of civilian life, talks to Freeman, and rejoins the ship. Talen transfers to the Cerritos. Shanks thanks Boimler for letting him eject the warp core. And we've got after credits. A ship picks up Rutherford's original implant with Badgie on.
A lot did happen in that episode.
That's a
now that you mention it.
Yeah. That's skipping a fair bit as well. Where I go like, oh, and the race finished. I didn't do any of the race. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a race.
They raced, apparently.
Yeah, there was so much in that episode.
Yeah. It was such an easy call. We called last week anyway that Buenamigo was like, he set them up and he knew the Breen was there and... Yeah, an easy call for us.
It was interesting to find out, Buenamigo was the guy that messed with Rutherford's head.
Yeah. Surprised that came so early, that reveal. I thought that was going to be a next season.
Yeah, it was cool that, it was the code that he wrote when he was douchebag Rutherford.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's a douchebag code.
Yeah.
But maybe he's just not good at writing code, because like you say, Badgie.
Yeah.
Highlight of the episode for me was Shax. Yes. Shax getting his moment to eject the warp core.
Yeah.
And just finally getting to eject, and it was sweet.
People almost high-fiving him in the corridor as he goes to do it,
Finally. I've waited so long.
Yeah. 3 seasons now of saying, eject the warp core.
We need to eject the warp core.
Yeah. Running down, he's smiling.
Yeah, man.
And it did make me feel things, not to be Dennis out of Always Sunny or whatever, but it made me feel things where he's, at the end, he's saying to, Boimler, you're part of the Bear Club now.
Yeah.
Because he's got Rutherford as Baby Bear, and now he's got Boimler as a different bear.
Yeah. Rutherford's, what's Boimler going to be?
Mama Bear.
Bold Bear.
Yeah.
Bold Bear.
Yeah. So that I do agree that was the highlight of the episode.
Yeah.
Funny story point, all worked.
Yeah. It's he's ready to die again. He closed a loop.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll kill him again.
Oh, they better not. Or if they do, they better bring him back. They need Shax nowadays.
We got a great Indiana Jones. You were saying, I'm looking forward to fucking hell. You were saying that you were looking forward to some space Indiana Jones stuff, and we got exactly that.
Yeah. Almost with the music as well. The music was just seemed to be copied and pasted from an Indiana Jones.
The Idol.
Yeah. All Ferengi chasing her. And I thought it was a decent reveal as well, because I hadn't pegged it that Picard was financing the guild or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh no, Mariner's clued up here. She's going to find out that they're doing stuff unscrupulously and she's going to go back to Starfleet. But no, it was just no, Picard pays for us to do
Picard
this.
Picard pays for it. He's just quiet about it.
Yeah, he likes archaeology. Of course he's going to pay.
He hates attention.
Yeah. loves archaeology, hates attention. Of course he's going to pay for this sort of stuff. Yeah. So I thought that was a good reveal that I hadn't pegged. It's nice to be surprised once in a while. I did, for my laugh out louds, when they're getting the ship ready to go to go against this race, against the Alito, they're all teaching different areas of the ship. And we've got Dr. Miglio saying, like, don't be a cantaloupe, be a cantaloupe. And then we've got...
that's a good one.
And then we've got Ransom teaching the Riker maneuver and saying, like, you've got to get your leg high and then sit hard. Like, sit hard.
Yeah. That was a good one.
I did have a good laugh out loud with that, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's just...
And one of my only... Oh, and in that same scene, there's got Dr... What's her name? Dr. Tiana? She's saying, I served 7 years of goddamn Oberth for this ship. I'm not going to lose it now or whatever. It's like, yeah. I've played on Oberth ships in games. I understand that sort of pain.
Man, on Star Trek Online, that chick's got a big ass. Ship fucking drags.
Yeah. I always remember from, like, Star Trek Armada, it's like, what difficulty do you want? Do you want Oberth, easy? And it's like, or Miranda, medium, or Constitution, hard. And they kind of like scale the enemies on like how bad a ship you've got. Yeah. So if you've got like a shite ship, it's like one enemy who can't target you. And that's the Oberth experience. Because they're just worried that if anyone ever shoots you, you'll fall out the sky immediately.
Yep. You'll just crumple.
Yeah.
In terms of like laugh out loud moments, I can't say that there were many like big laugh out loud moments.
Yeah.
I'm just like scanning. I didn't like make any notes when I was watching it. But like, yeah. But I did. There were some moments that I did thoroughly enjoy. Like I did laugh out. That's not true. I was howling with laughter when Shax was going to eject the warp core.
Yeah.
But it's more stuff like I really enjoyed the moment where all the California class ships came out. Yeah. I loved how much it wasn't a copy and paste job.
Yeah, they've all got their own like.
They were all very distinct.
Yeah, they've all got their own whole design or whatever, where it's like they've painted yellow on top or whatever.
Yeah.
We see a couple of the crews we've seen before, like. The bug ones where they're all like they look like the Cerritos crew but they're bugs is the one where the doctor says everyone doesn't know what I'm doing on this ship, like it was like just before an episode and everyone's acting weird to me. She gets to the bridge and they're all different. She goes, did I get onto the wrong ship? Like, yeah.
There was a few ships, like all the ships were named after different areas in California. I'm not going to list them all. But yeah. One of the interesting ones was like at one point you're looking through the crews and you see like a crew that's basically just made up of the Cerritos crew, but they're different.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
That's the one I'm talking about. Where they're like,
is that the one you're talking about?
That's the one that featured in an episode before. I reckon.
Right. Okay. Because like it was a funny moment because like the shot lingers on the crew and there's no one talking when they do it and nothing's said. No one says anything. It's a funny moment, but yeah. The moment that I was disappointed that we didn't get was any kind of tie-in to the Strange New Worlds crossover that we're gonna get.
Yeah, but that's kind of disappointment of our own making, where we know that's going to happen.
Yeah,
yeah. So I just
want something. I just want something.
Yeah.
But like, it could still be temporal Cold War shenanigans.
Yeah.
Maybe he's right.
Yeah. Or we get hopefully again we get Archer. Temporal Cold War, Man in the Shadows guy.
Hopefully.
Maybe. You know what I thought was good about this compared to like, I'm trying to remember the season 1 finale, but like certainly whatever the season finale it was where Riker appeared, maybe last season, or was it season 1 that Riker was in there?
Yeah, it was in the finale.
Season 1. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But like that relied on the savior was like an Easter egg, if you know what I mean, where it was like, oh, the savior's a reference.
Yeah.
And the close we get to that, this episode is like a sovereign class warping in and getting annihilated immediately.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the reference that saves them, it's themselves.
Yeah, and loads of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than like just a out of left field nostalgia reference.
Yeah.
You know, it builds on, characters that we've met throughout the series. And, throughout this series, there's been a lot of, like, California class pride. So, it's a nice resolution for that.
And do you mind, while we're on it, if I skip to the message that I got for the episode, because it links in heavily. Like, season 1 finale, it's like, oh, it's the Titan and it saves them. Whereas this episode says, like, directly to the audience, when Mariner finds out, like, the Cerritos is under attack, it's like, the Cerritos is a ship, but the people matter. When, like, not Vash is saying, like, oh, it's the Cerritos, what do you care about that? Like, it's the people that save them, and it's the people that, they care about, rather than just being, like, a reference ship that they can pull out of like Star Trek canon's arse.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't think much about like the lesson for this episode. Shall I tell you what I did today? I watched Star Trek and then I met my partner and their child.
Oh, very nice.
And then we went and had lunch and then we went and played crazy golf.
I'm trying to remember.
I tied with a 7-year-old.
Purposely, you chose.
I got 2 holes in 1 though, motherfucker.
You purposely tied with a 7-year-old to be nice to them.
Nah, man, I would have tried to. Like, I will say, I did not try to win.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's fair.
But I didn't try to win. But I did still get 2 holes in 1.
Great. That's what we like to hear.
But yeah,
golf
bastard,
master.
little shit. Mamas is the winner, but Mamas is the winner. Mamas. And then it was Mamas first the worst, second the best, joint second. And then Rufus was like, and then the kid was like, first the worst, second the best, third Ethan's stinky poo head.
Well, he's pegged you, hasn't he, really?
That doesn't rhyme, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, the trouble is he's got you as well.
Yeah, no, I am a
there's
stinky
no comeback
poo
to
head.
that.
Like, I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
So, whatever. So, yeah, I guess it's...
You must have got, like, a stick up for each other, at least.
Yeah, no, like, teamwork-based stuff, you know? Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah, that's that'll do.
Yeah. And
you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
You got time to clean. And we finally got T-Len on the crew, which we'd said on episode 1 of this season.
What the fuck? That was at the end of last season.
Yeah. We were like, episode 1, we were like, oh, T-Len's going to be in this now. We've seen her for the trailer in the background of... She was in the fucking background of Crisis Point 2, and now she joins the ship. It's
Lies!
Lies! Yeah.
Sons of bitches. But yeah, that's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, but I like them giving someone else for what's her name to bounce off on.
Yeah, a good straight man for her goofball character.
Yeah. Considering now just Rutherford needs someone, because Rutherford gets short shifted in every single fucking episode of this. Including this, he's just thinking about stuff for 80% of the episode.
He does crack it. He does give
he
them.
He cracks it, but he's just thinking about stuff.
He does. He cracks it, and like they got a head start on the situation thanks to him, and I suppose that helps.
Yeah. But if he's not there, the exact same thing happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
it was pretty
Freeman
funny.
would still be like, no, it didn't abide by the Prime Directive. It didn't scan for life on that planet. And then he still would have sent to blow him up. It's the exact same thing. It's just we got context or they got context as well.
I liked it when was it not Aleppo? That's somewhere else. Alito.
Yeah, I said it probably 4 different times during my episode description.
I like it that Alito, just as soon as he gets full consciousness and like full autonomy, just keeps saying, "I will burn your heart with fire."
Yeah.
To anything resembling a father figure.
Yeah.
I will destroy your father.
At the end, like where it's against all the Californias, it like singles out the Cerritos still, and it's like, "I will kill you."
Yeah. Yeah, I liked that. We didn't get it joining like the wall of evil computers.
No, I was through the episode. I was like, "Oh, it could still happen." It's my prediction like could come true.
Yeah. But no, we got Badgie at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else to say on whatever this episode of the finale?
No, I mean, I guess just 3. Like overall for the overall thoughts of the season.
Yeah.
I will say like there was characters. I wouldn't necessarily say they had arcs. But there were resolutions. There were, this series set stuff up early. There was a payoff at the end of the season at some point. And things that we not only like so much set up and payoff, but harkening back to previous episodes, like something that happened in a previous episode ends up helping out in a later episode. So like,
I'm surprised in this one they didn't do a previously on and explain who Badgie was, because they just say during the episode like, "Oh, that's the code for Badgie," and just assume everyone knows. And normally in TV nowadays it's like, no, the audience is fucking idiots. You need to say exactly. You need to explain every single person who's going to be in this episode who wasn't in the last one, where they come from.
But like, it wasn't Badgie's code in the ship, was it? He said he wrote it when he was douchebag Rutherford.
But he says
Badgie was in.
He says it's based on Badgie's code, or Badgie was based on that code as well.
Badgie was based on that code as well.
Yeah,
because I think that like Badgie at the end, I think that was from like Cerritos wreckage, just because there was shit all over the place.
No, the wreckage at the end of season 1, where they're against the Packlids, and Shax rips out Thingy's thing, pushes him out the shuttle, and then blows up. That's where Shax first dies.
That's a reference to, right?
So technically, Rutherford's on his second head thing.
Yeah, he's had a few. They must be nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
I like the, and you're still wearing it, and it goes dark, and he's like, "Oh no, it caused me to do terrible, terrible things." But it's cool!
Yeah, I'm still discovering new little menus. He goes on heat vision with it.
Yeah. I know that this season, I don't think we were overall as fond with the messages of the season. And we had that stupid episode that didn't really have the Cerritos crew in it with peanut butter.
Yeah. That episode sucked.
Yeah.
The weird pro-authoritarian messaging that was a vague through line throughout this season was weird. But I am willing to chalk that down to an oversight rather than an outright subliminal message.
It just felt strange that there were like 3 in a row of them, I think.
Yeah, it just hit the ear wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, a good... I think we left the season in a good place. You know, we've got stuff set up. We've got Mariner happy to be part of the Federation and potentially willing to climb ranks.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Tendi climbing ranks with a new study buddy. We've got Boimler still being bold, but also being part of Shax's piece now. And
Yeah.
we've got Rutherford, who...
Rutherford's cool. Rutherford's fine.
Rutherford got a story that was like half semi-contained within
Rutherford's
the
here.
series.
Rutherford's just happy to be there.
Yeah. Again, the one thing I hope for episode on episode and, you know, year on year is they just do more together rather than being like, Rutherford, you go off and do something, maybe with Tendi. Tendi, you go off and do something, maybe with Rutherford.
Yeah.
And Boimler and Mariner, you stay together and do stuff. You know, it's...
Yeah.
Every episode.
But I mean, that's how a Star Trek episode works in like normal Star Trek. This is
but
you know,
we've had the discussion where like
animation, and that's how you do short form animation.
Yeah, we've had the discussion though. Like in a TNG episode, they'd go away. Like Data and Geordi would go away for half an episode and barely interact with Picard, but they were struggling towards the same goal. Whereas in this, they don't really struggle towards the same goal at all. They're just like, it's you're doing your side piece, we're doing our side piece, and it may interact at some point.
Side piece means something else.
Yeah, well, yeah. You're
That's
doing
what
your
Mariner
side
was
thing.
doing. Ew.
Yeah. But yeah, a good enough season.
We didn't see we didn't see Mariner reunite with Jennifer, is it?
Yeah. Jennifer gave her a look on the way in. So kind of a ashamed look at herself while seeing Mariner walk in. So, you know, potentially stuff can start up again there. Potentially it won't. Yeah. Are we done with Lower Decks?
Yeah, I'm happy to send Lower Decks off. It tided me over.
Until next year, good sirs.
Yeah, man.
Early next year with your Strange New Worlds crossover.
Yeah, real face. We'll be able to see your paws.
Yeah.
Arr. No, I meant paws. I'm just being silly.
Oh, you silly boy. So Star Trek Prodigy then. Asylum, this episode is called.
Season 3, Episode 1.
It might as well fucking be. This is, according to them, this is episode 11 of season 1. Despite them having 40 weeks off, despite them putting out a game in the meantime, they're still counting this as season 1.
This is season 3, episode 1.
Yeah.
But it was a great episode.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. You know, no spoilers. We got some. We met some new faces. We saw some old faces. It was a fun romp.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the episode of Lower Decks.
Did you? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I felt more things in Lower Decks, so I enjoyed it more. You know, I had more fist bumps and I had more like whatever in Lower Decks. But I did enjoy this as well.
Did you fist bump yourself and just go, yeah?
It's like, yes! Well, you know, like, woo!
Oh,
freeze frame.
Punch in the air, like, not like,
yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah, I didn't fist bump myself. I punched the air. Yeah. But, like, I thought was really strong. And again, as I said about Lower Decks as well, the animation in this feels much better than the first half of the season. Like, I went back and watched a lot of the first half of the season before this. This is, like, much better.
Yeah.
And just that step up of maybe it's that they've had a year to try and refine some things. It still doesn't... It's still not as good as, like, Clone Wars or like this week there was Tales of the Jedi. I don't think it's as good as that. By
so
far.
good.
Yeah.
So good.
But like,
although I will say
really
that first episode with Dooku, that voice and that face do not match.
No. First episode at all. Someone pointed out to me there's like an episode of The Simpsons where Maggie meets a bear.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the same, isn't it? You know, I was like, this is ruined for me. Yeah.
But no, Tales of the Jedi, fantastic.
Yeah.
Prodigy, very good.
Yeah. I think that's fair enough rating for them all. Spoiler talk?
Yes.
Or like episode and then spoiler talk?
Yeah, go for it.
The crew of the Protostar have been out doing good things on their way to Federation space, saving whales, being in video games and all that. They get to the furthest out there Federation relay station and ask for asylum. The only inhabitant, a half Cardassian guy, is all but happy to see them after being alone and scans them to check them in before communicating to Starfleet. Dal goes through the scanner and the database says report him to Starfleet Command because they know something about his race, so he's all happy that someone knows where he's from. Zero goes off with Gwyn to the station's medical bay to regain her memories because she's still wiped from last year. But as Frax, the station guy, integrates the Protostar with the Diviner's the Diviner's virus comes across the station, makes everything go haywire. The station guy takes the last escape pod, thinking the Protostar crew are saboteurs. The Protostar crew can't get transported away, so spacewalk outside the station and jump to the Protostar. They all make it safe, and Gwyn remembers that her father made the Protostar an anti-Federation virus weapon.
Yeah.
That's it for the Protostar crew, but we also see Janeway watching a hologram of her talking to Chakotay at the launch of the Protostar, and the Dauntless crew going to Tars Lamar and finding the Diviner in stasis. That is nice and short, I think, compared to...
Hey, that was very short, but that episode was fucking sweet.
Yeah.
That was cool as hell, man. I'm pretty sure the dude on the station was Denobulan.
Denobulan?
I reckon
he had the, like... Yeah.
Like a Denobulan.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair enough, because I was like...
And he seemed more like a Denobulan because he was super friendly and amenable.
Yeah.
He was a great host.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Fantastic host.
Denobulan works a bit better
the
than...
Final Frontier.
Yeah. And
Why
the kids just don't
saying
get it
that?
at all. Yeah.
Yeah, why does it keep saying that? Yeah, interesting to see, like... Because I believe at the start of all of this, I believe that Dal's character was advertised as a Talaxian. And he mentions that he looks Talaxian. And then when he scans him, it doesn't say what he is, but it says, we know what you are. Get over here.
Dal?
Yeah.
As a Talaxian. Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't think he is Talaxian, but maybe he's, like, similar to Talaxian. Because I know that, like, there was an episode where fucking Neelix gets turned into a Mylean.
Yeah.
And the Mylean, he said that the Myleans were a cousin, like, race. So maybe there's a bunch of alien races out there that are all vaguely related.
Yeah.
It's the Delta Quadrant, so maybe.
Anything could happen in the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah. But what happens in the Delta Quadrant stays in the Delta Quadrant because it's so far away.
Yeah. I suppose, like, if they're still in the Delta Quadrant, though, because, like, one of the troubles I have with this show is you don't know where anything fucking is. Because they're all on super fast ships, but they all catch up to each other no matter who's on, like, the super fast ship or not. They get to a Federation relay and you're like, is this in the Gamma Quadrant? Is this in the Beta Quadrant?
I think it's in the like, it's a Federation outpost. It's one of the Pathfinder relays, isn't it?
I don't know.
Maybe.
It just says it's like it's a relay.
It's got to be like the Delta Quadrant facing end of the Federation.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The station reminded me as well, and the guy, in part. Do you remember the guy from Discovery 2 seasons ago? When the whole Federation's disconnected and he's just living on a relay by himself and just being like, no, I send a signal out every day and I never hear back from everyone. And I'd love to hear if the Federation was still around because I'm so fucking lonely.
Yeah, he kind of reminded me of the Commander Small Talk from that one episode.
Yeah. TNG. Yeah. Great outtake that as well. Maybe I'll pop.
But yeah, I liked how they explained the situation to him, and he's just kind of well, clearly there's more to that story.
Yeah.
But let's just get the paperwork done first.
Yeah.
Let's do the scanning bits. Then you guys go and chill, and I'll do the official stuff.
And you can tell why he's by himself or being stationed in this arse end of the quadrant because Gwen goes through and he's like, oh, we didn't get anything. I can't be bothered filing the paperwork, so I'll just go as unknown or whatever.
Yeah, none of the above.
Yeah.
But yeah, he seems despite the fact that he's on this outpost, he still seems like he's got his shit straight and he's gonna do some work. One thing I noticed, I couldn't help but notice when I was watching, and I started to count how many times they mention that the protostar was stolen.
Oh yeah, they do that a lot.
They mention it 4 times in the episode, 3 times in the first 4 minutes, and then they mention it a 4th time within the first 10 minutes. So they mentioned that the ship is stolen 3 times in 3 minutes.
And they didn't even steal it from Starfleet.
They found it!
Yeah. That's what is it? If
That's
it's
salvage.
floating, it's still
That's
jetsam or whatever.
Yeah, it's legitimate salvage.
Yeah. So it's such a dumb point to keep bringing up. Yeah. Obviously, they're doing it because it's we've been away for a year. We need to remind you why these kids are on a fucking ship by themselves. But yeah, it was a bit heavy-handed.
Well, that's one thing I'm gonna have my eye out for this season. How many times they mention that the ship was stolen?
Yeah, stolen.
What did you think of the Janeway bits?
The actual Janeway.
Actual Janeway.
It was good to see and hear Chakotay again.
Yeah,
and
man.
Unfortunately, I've seen Robert Beltran on Twitter today, rather than just hearing him on Prodigy as well. He was calling the Democrats fascist, and it was like,
yes, fascism, the cornerstone of every left-wing policy.
I mean, everyone knows that the Democrats aren't amazingly left-wing. They're not. No, they're centrists at a push. Yeah, you compare their left-wing to our right, and they pretty much line up. And they're still on the right. But at the same time being the Dems are fascists. It's what are you talking about, you fucking idiot? And then saying both parties are as bad as each other. Just shut up, man. Again, the guys behind Prodigy have just got to be why would you say this on the day of the episode where you talk comes out?
Because this is when people are going to look at my Twitter.
Yeah.
Now's my chance to tell the people to not tread on me.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I wonder
fucking
I wonder if he follows Jordan Peterson.
Probably. Anyway,
Still,
let's move away.
It's cool to see Chakotay.
It's cool to see him. Yeah.
Again, that close up when that's as good as he's looked in years. And this is a highly stylized CGI.
Yeah.
Great.
I was working out because I was going to record a timeline video of what Prodigy is before the season started up again, and I just ran out of time. But there's a chance there's 2 Chakotays around at this point in time as well.
Potentially.
Because there's potentially 2 protostars right now as well, in that the original protostar probably hasn't been sent back in time yet. So we might have young and old Chakotay.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the whole weirdness of time dilation. So if the protostar has, like, gone far enough back in time, then presumably, like, from its perspective, it's still traveling back in time. And the rest of the universe is moving backwards around it.
It's gone at least 17 years back in time. Potentially 50 years back in time. But who the fuck knows?
Time dilation, man.
Yeah, magic.
We still haven't had. We don't get Jamila Jamil's character in this episode, but she did an interview where she's talking about she's getting like the nerd EGOT.
Yeah.
So
she's
done a
lot, isn't she?
She's done Marvel. She was in She-Hulk. She's going to be in Star Trek. She says she's done a DC. What DC thing has she done?
I think she's been another voice. Was she like a Catwoman or something like that?
Maybe.
Oh no, she was in. She was Wonder Woman, wasn't she? In League of Pets.
Oh, was she?
I believe so. Yeah.
All right. And that got me thinking about people who've done franchises, and like, there's like a funny like crossover. There's like. Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, DC. And then there's Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And then there's a bit of crossover with like people who have done Star Wars and Doctor Who and Game of Thrones and Harry Potter.
English actors. Yeah. Just class them under English
actors. Yeah.
Willing to work for cheap.
But like the winners of those by far, when I looked it up, like actors who've been in the most franchises, you've got The Rock and Carl Urban. So Carl Urban obviously was Bones, and then he's done Riddick, The Boys, Lord of the Rings.
He was in
Dread.
Ragnarok, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in Marvel. He was in Ragnarok. Then The Rock, he was in, and The Rock he got in there early, before he was Dwayne The Rock Johnson, just when he was a little rock. He did Star Trek in Voyager, and then he's now done DC with Black Adam.
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious. The Mummy.
I'm amazed he's not like trying to make himself the next Bond or something like that.
Oh, no. I don't, you know my thoughts on Bond. We don't need him.
No.
We don't need a Bond. I want a 002 movie.
Yeah.
00
Felix Leiter TV show.
Yo, that'd be good.
Should have done it with Jeffrey Wright while they had him.
Yeah, man. No, I want young M in the 60s.
Yeah. Being sexy in Tokyo.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. What other thoughts on the episode? A joke that I thoroughly liked that is going to be fun for kids. Obviously, this is a kid's show. And I already mentioned that my partner's kid, he makes a lot of jokes about poo. There's a great moment where Derek is eating hot dogs. And he loves it. He's eating hot dogs. And then when the when the virus hits and the space station starts killing itself, it starts churning out a bunch of burnt hot dogs, and it does a fart noise, and it looks like a poo. It looks like a turd flopping out. And it starts firing out loads of turds.
Yeah.
And then Jenkin Pop says, "Oh, all you can eat." And I just know that when my partner's kid watches that episode, he's going to laugh at the poo. And then when Jenkin Pog says, all you can eat, he's going to go, all you can eat poo?
Yeah. I like that scene Jake and Pog.
Pooh is funny.
Pooh's always funny, of course.
Yeah.
He's saying about them traveling back to Earth like he's Will Smith. Welcome to Earth.
Yeah, man, he's royalty. I liked that. Yeah. I'm royalty.
Yeah, just because his race was a founding member of the Federation or whatever.
Yeah, man. How did Tellarite get all the way over there?
Fuck knows, man. Fuck knows. For the jumping ship or jumping away from the station. I thought it was funny that Rock was like a beautiful minding it.
Beautiful minding it, yeah.
Seeing all these formulas going in front of her.
Yeah. And she was still wrong.
Yeah. But
that was funny.
Such ridiculously poor stakes as well. I thought it was weird fake stakes. Just jump away. All you need to do is get away from the station.
The ship's gonna pick you up.
The ship has engines. The ship can move.
Yeah.
The ship doesn't have a transport, but it has a tractor beam.
Yeah,
Why
the
wasn't
ship
Janeway
has
just
the
being
AI of one of the most capable starship captains currently in command.
Yeah. And Janeway should have just been like, why are you waiting
I bet
for it
she's
to
on
explode?
the ship. She's on the ship watching Rock being like, and she's just there with her arms crossed I think she's doing calculations.
Yeah.
I don't...
Yeah. So weird. But weird but funny. And it won't be funny to kids at all. It'll just be funny to 30-year-olds who've seen A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Rain Man.
Yeah.
That kind of leads into the closest thing that I can kind of get to a teachable moment in this, which is again kind of like with Lower Decks, the whole teamwork vibe, which is that idea of it's more to do with the idea of, I guess picking up the slack is kind of a harsh way of wording it, but your team is there for you when you try your best, obviously. But if you're a little off, your team should be there to sort of pick you up after,
Yeah. You've all got specialities. Leverage all the specialities of your team. And it's nice, throughout it as well, there's the... Zero is very focused on trying to help Gwyn out and being very apologetic for Gwyn just looking at her. And then when they're doing the jump, they're all holding on to each other to be going as one. So there's that whole message of togetherness, isn't there really? And supporting your friends. There's also the leap of faith that Janeway sets up early and then they do.
Yeah.
Where it's just take a leap of faith and be open with people.
Yeah, she says, take a leap of faith towards the ship that was stolen.
Yeah. This stolen ship that we stole, that you stole, that you stole, that you stole.
Ah, yes, the stolen ship that we stole. We shall leap of faith towards it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a funny enough reference. It's not going to work for kids, I don't think, where the guy on the station, whatever his name is, Frack, he's worried that the Federation have arrived to send him to a worse place, and he mentioned Nimbus 3.
Yeah.
Which is the planet of galactic peace, the shithole planet from Final Frontier.
Yep.
He's like, oh no, don't send me there.
Yeah. That
Won't
planet
work for
is
kids, but funny.
Yeah, it's don't show that film to your kids so they understand the reference. Yeah. They might think that that's an appropriate standard of cinema.
And they might think that, women have free tits as well.
Well, I mean, they're gonna learn the sad reality that women don't have three tits as they go through life.
Damn it.
But yeah, I just don't want kids watching that and thinking, is that a good film?
It's not as bad as people say it is.
It's not as good as
I say it is.
Any...
I'm willing to agree on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other note I have from the episode was absolutely digging the music of the episode.
Yeah, the music. Yeah, they. I picked up on the music last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music.
A year ago.
Yeah, a year ago in last season.
Yeah.
The music is very good.
Yeah. There's like when they're doing the saving the whales, because they obviously have to reference a different Trek movie to save a whale as well.
Yeah.
Like it's very dun 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 dun
yeah.
dun dun dun.
It was
like Star Trek
yeah. Yeah, it was a great moment. I thought it was a very triumphant moment. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And they beamed a whale on board, like you know, there be whales here.
There be whales.
They should have had Janeway say that. There be whales here, and they'd be like, "What?" And she'd be like, "Nothing."
I'm programmed with a lot of knowledge. I'm programmed with references. Yeah.
Again, going back to what we were discussing earlier in the cosmic horror thing, Zero reveals herself. She says, "I'm a Medusa." She says she's a Medusa, and looking into me will drive you mad. That's a thing in cosmic horror. Staring into the face of something that's so terrifying you lose your mind just trying to understand what you're looking at.
Yeah. And this fucking station guy is just like, yeah, another one.
Oh, cool.
Bank you in there, you know.
Sweet. Yeah. I wonder if Zero's gonna get a new plating.
Yeah.
This season, like not quite a
not a human suit, not like
a skin mask like the guy from the episode you were talking about, and not like an exocomp. Yeah. But
can always have like gold plated hair, and then she can be like 3PO and be like, "Oh, you don't recognize me because I'm now a different toy. I'm a different merchandisable toy."
God, I really hope that this hasn't jingled too much. I've tried to remain as perfectly still as I can.
You've done good.
But yeah, all in all, I would say that like I enjoyed this episode more than I enjoyed Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Like I'm more excited for this series than I was for Lower Decks as well.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough, and it's something you can enjoy with the partner's kid as well.
Yeah, and like they've already kind of drip fed us like little morsels of what's in store, and like I'm so looking forward to like Okana and more of Admiral Janeway, and I want to know if there's an in-world explanation for them red boots that Jamila's character's gonna get.
Because she fucking styles it up, man.
Yeah, how good? That's not per uniform regulations. And she's like, yes, but look at them though. And then they're just like, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, move on.
Slay Queen. Let's move on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to like maybe piecing out more of like what happened originally to the Protostar and Chakotay, which I think we'll get some of over the season, and then I can actually finalize the timeline video a bit more because it's all over the place.
Just seen the stardate. Oh no, the stardates look like they match. It looks like the stardates make sense on Prodigy.
Yeah, it's 2384. I know. I made a timeline this week.
I did enjoy that character. I hope that we run into him again. The science officer.
Well, because he's gone away thinking that they're saboteurs, if Janeway picks him up when she gets signal that the relay went down, she's going to go like, oh no, they're saboteurs and they've got the Protostar and, they're against the Federation, which, is going to be, without meeting Janeway, setting off on the wrong foot. I think that's quite interesting.
yeah, it's gonna be. We do get that scene where they're running from Janeway,
Yeah, in the
and
trailer.
they're trying not to even establish contact with them.
Hmm.
So, like, I'm looking forward to seeing how they get out of that jam.
Yeah.
Good job they've got the outrageous O'Connor.
They'll probably get out of it outrageously.
Oh, he'll be so outrageous and handsome and stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Anything else for this episode of Prodigy then?
No, man. No. Like I say, looking forward to it. But that being said, Tales of the Jedi is very good.
Yeah.
And if you're left wanting more at the end of that episode, I'm not going to recommend that you watch Star Wars on a Star Trek podcast, but I will say Tales of the Jedi is very good.
Yeah. It's very good. We're allowed to like both,
Yes. Yeah.
We don't want to be set in our ways, old men, and only like one.
No, we like all the Star Trek. We like the Star Trek that's for kids, because we're kids at heart.
Right then, if we're drawing to an end, because we have gone slightly long then.
Yeah, man.
There's all the links below. I forgot to say time codes up front. Bastard me!
Damn it! Just do it now and cut it in. Just do it now and cut it in. Cut it into that bit.
And there's time codes in the description below.
Down by my underpants.
Look at that cut in. I'll leave this bit in though, again when I say it again. Like, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. We've got the podcast version. If you've been listening to the podcast version, you haven't seen our amazing Halloween costumes.
Yeah, man, we look awesome.
Low effort.
We look awesome. I only had to buy the eyeliner.
And I only had to buy white and or black face paint, which has been terribly put on.
Do it again. Do the thing again.
Hold on, let me get to the thing again.
Wait. What?
Have you seen Loki anywhere? I'm trying to run away from him. Or no, I'm trying to find him. And I'm trying to run away from Beale.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Acting. Yes.
What are you, Patrick? What are you, Alan Gorshin?
I might as well be.
No, Frank Gorshin?
Yeah, the Joker.
The Riddler.
Oh no, the Riddler, sorry, yeah. Yeah, I am him.
Yes.
But on that crazy note, I need to wash this shit off my face.
Yeah, man. Kapla, Patax. No, wait, not that. Kapla, motherfuckers.
And I'll say, peace and long life, and you're a dumbass.